It's a little flexible, doesn't help you guys schedule. They try to, it's usually on Wednesday.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Approval minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes as changed.
I'll second. Any discussion on it? Keith?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Yes. Approval of financials.
We have a second special meeting minutes
Oh.
also.
Oh, I haven't looked at it. Okay.
I move that we approve the special city commission meeting from June 26th. I'll second that.
Any discussion on that? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, financials.
What's unique, I guess.
They're the paving for, or they're the tar,
Oh, okay.
That's the barrels.
Yep.
Yeah.
I move that we approve the financials. I'll second that.
Any discussion? You see there's one that says like miscellaneous revenues for $3,328.45. You know, it doesn't say what it's for. And the one next to it, it's $1 and tells what that one's for, you know. I don't know if
I'd
it's
to look at the.
I don't know if it's a big deal, but.
Which page are you on, Larry?
Would be page 17. Yeah, see, like there's that, and then you got, you know, $1, that one's not listed. This one here I see is game and fish, but.
Sure.
Do you find it there, Sharon?
Yeah, I'd have to see the actual receipt.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm not sure it's fine. I thought it was kind of funny that, you know, listed $1 and then the big one is not listed what it's for. Okay. Any other discussion? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Eric?
How you guys all doing tonight?
Good. Good, how are you?
Good. So I think Sharon handed out a little update that I have here, but we'll start with the 2018 project. We got the bathymetric survey done last week, and we're looking through that data right now. The environmental solicitation letters have been sent out to all the agencies that will be affected by this project, so we can get some comments back from them on what our plan is so far for all the sites and where our potential pipelines might be, so we can get that feedback from them. We did talk to the landowners that will be affected by this, so we got them in the loop, and as we continue to develop our plan here for this project, we'll get a meeting with them in the city.
I guess I'm confused in the future, how that even got into our realm of what we're doing. We've got plenty of land ourselves. Why are we investigating buying private land?
Because we need to make sure that we're looking into the best sites that we have available.
You're talking about for the pump house.
For the pump house and for the intake, yep. And if we find that both the east and west sides of the bridge are not good, and that the site that's north or upriver is a really good site as far as where the channel is and the depth, then we'd want to at least look at that as a possibility. So we have the 3 sites, remember, the one that's about a mile
Yeah.
upriver than where the current one is, and then across the river.
Yeah.
So if we're going to seriously look into each site, we have to make sure that we're contacting landowners to let them know that, you know, this initial contact. was
Yeah, I
just-
guess I'm just curious why we're even looking at it. You know.
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
part of the preliminary engineering.
Yeah, it's just because we had that committee meeting, you know, and I guess I was under the assumption that that wasn't going to be one of, I understand that the intake could possibly be over there,
Mhm.
and we were looking at several different situations for intake,
Mhm.
but not the private land. That was my opinion.
The one that was upriver, the private land, that one is on private land.
Mhm.
The one that, where the current intake is, that's on park board land, I believe. And the one
Yeah.
across the river, that one is also on private land.
Yeah.
So 2 out of the 3 are actually on private land.
Mhm.
So, but, so yeah, that would explain that. Does that answer your question, or?
I guess, you know, I guess it's one of those things where, you know, as a group, maybe we should have gave you more direction.
To only look at like one site?
Well, yeah, I guess, you know.
And that could have been a course of
And that could have
action
been-
too, but
that could have been our
we
fault.
could get to final design and then not be able to really see it as a feasible option.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of want to cast a little wider net on
Yeah.
that. So all this information we're gathering though now will kind of get us towards that, finishing that site selection, tech memo to you guys with our recommendation as to where we think we should put that intake. So that project's moving along. Any questions on the intake from this project? Okay, sidewalk project, the initial work has been completed. We did go over on quantities. There was a few places where we had more curb. We had a lot of sidewalk added at Kayla Sweeney's on Main Street. That was one of the big additions. So I know that the bid price was, for the quantity that they bid on, was for $59,000, and I think we're at $69,000. And then we're going to be having more with Chase Drug, the rest of Morris Nelson's property, and that pedestrian tunnel across 83. So we'll have that stuff. And I'm hoping to hear something from BW. They've been kind of out of town here and not really answering their phones, but it sounded like, according to Wagner, that they should be here at the end of this week or beginning of next week. So,
And did we ever get an estimate for the tunnel?
no.
We
We added it with the sidewalk price. So
Oh.
I have a square footage and the price per square foot. I can get you how much it costs.
Okay.
Well, and they said that would be fine with them?
They said that they could do that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So
Okay, well,
okay, well, I didn't realize that.
yep.
Yeah,
That's
we're
good.
So. Any questions on the sidewalk project? Is everyone okay in town with what work has been done as far as
I think they
any
look
comments
nice.
or?
They look really nice.
Yeah.
Cleaned up nice, you know, so they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, we got to do the seating yet. We haven't came in and done that yet, but they're about the same timeline as BW is coming back. It's gonna be the same guy that did the seating for the street project.
So the next time they come back, those 2 portions of sidewalk will be taken care of. And I think it's the couple portions of curb and then
Yep.
also the tunnel.
Yep.
Kind of all at one time.
I'm hoping that they'll get here and finish all that at once. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I talked to Chad from Aztec Corporation today. It sounds like it's going to be the end of July if it's going to be him. He says if it's the other foreman that comes out from Aztec, it could possibly be earlier, but right now I wouldn't really hold your breath. It sounds like it'll be the end of July for that seal coat project.
This is what you said last time too. So.
Yep, yep. Street utility improvements, I've been trying to get that stuff done as well. Wagner's relying on BW Concrete to do those, the repair stuff that we need to do for the sidewalk and the driveway. Also, it sounds like they're gonna have Bechtel come in and fix that little spot on 9th Street. So, the other thing that we need to do is clean out those storm sewer pipes. So, we're moving on that.
Which little spot on Main Street?
Right by the alleyway where all those curb stops are.
Yeah?
Just on, if you're facing up the hill, it's the left side, so I guess that'd be the west side of the street. There's a little settlement
Oh, there is?
right near that alleyway. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then we sprayed blue paint on it. I was trying to get Wagner to have quality asphalt do the work, but they never got a hold of him in time, and Darren was out of town by the time they'd moved at all, so.
And what was the story about there's an area, cement, I think, across the street from Get's funeral home? It's all marked out.
Yep, that's another area that needs to be fixed. So anywhere you see blue paint,
Okay.
so where Get's funeral home is there, that little piece of driveway, there's a little piece of sidewalk that's just south of there down the road, across from where the old cafe is, and where that old building is
The
there.
drivers that I have a little time on my hands, so I can see a lot of things.
So, and then the 2014 project, still pending. Qualm also has BW to do that work, so when BW gets back to town and I can get a hold of them, I'm gonna really get them going, make sure they got all this stuff covered. So that's all I have for the project pieces that we have currently. I think I forgot to mention last meeting the tower inspections. I had a bid from KLM. They're going to be in town or in the area. They have an inspection plan with Underwood late this summer, early this fall. So they had submitted a proposal to me for, on behalf of the city. I took it for what we could get for getting those two towers inspected. Now the one at the Senex Tower was inspected, I think, last year or the year before. The North Tower, north of 83, and the 6th Avenue Tower, the old tower, those are the two that we want to get inspected. And when I talked to Adam briefly about it, he said it's been a while since those two have been inspected. The dry tank clean out and inspection of the North Tower would require us to drain that tower down, and for them to go in there and do clean it out and do the inspection. They think that they could do the robot inspection for the 6th Avenue Tower. Now that one, the North Tower can be backed up by the Senex Tower, from what I understand.
Right, yes, they're on the same, yeah.
But for the old tower, that's on its own pressure system.
It is, there's a pressure valve in between the two, but it's old.
Yeah,
So it would probably be best to do the robot on
do
that.
the robot on that one, and that's what they kind of recommended too, anyways. And the price to get them both done was $6,000. So just wanted to
I don't think
make
that's
sure I
a bad
brought
idea.
that to you guys, and they did offer, that's a discounted price on what they would normally charge, because they are going to be moved out here to Underwood. So that's
And I think that's something we should do.
How often are they inspected?
Not very.
they should be inspected every couple of years. I couldn't quote you the schedule offhand, but I would recommend it should be done every couple of
It's
years.
been a
I know
while.
that the Department of Health checks on that too. If I would ask Adam, he's probably talked to them a couple times about it. But I think it's a good thing that should be done. Is getting those
I'm going
inspected.
to make a motion that we have the towers inspected for $6,000.
Second that.
Any discussion?
It's a late summer, early fall,
Late summer, early fall project.
so they'll elect, if they got a drain down or anything, they'll contact and work
Yep,
all those details out
and
prior to.
and that's something that I'll work with Adam and Brian on.
Sure.
To make sure that everything's coordinated, because I don't know if you guys saw the proposal or not, but there's some stuff that needs to be done by the city to work with them. We have to make sure we get them ladders that they need, keys to get in, where they need to get in. We have to drain the tower down. If there's a lot of silt and sand that comes out that they clean out, the city would be responsible to haul that away. I don't think Brian or Adam have a problem with that.
No, I'm sure they'd be fine.
But and as long as everything goes to plan, and that's all it would be. If they go in there and they find a lot of extra stuff they got to clean out and it takes more time, then it might cost a little bit more money. But from what I understand, I haven't been a part of any of the inspections on Washburn's towers before, But from what I understand, it's just a one-day thing. They're here and they clean
Generally,
them out.
yeah, generally, so it's pretty quick.
So KLM, they were working on the Cenex water tower? That
Yep,
was a
and they did
contract.
the inspection on it. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before that, but
It was a couple of
recent.
years,
So,
I'm sure.
but
But yeah, these two haven't been done in a long time, I don't think, so. Okay,
Hi.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes.
and I'll get you guys make sure I get you a contract from them.
Yeah.
Get it forwarded to you. So, that's all I had for you guys. Unless you have any questions for me. I don't.
Anything? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eric.
Renee Bauer. Assuming that's you?
That's me.
Okay, regarding the no truck signs on 14th Street and the 15th Street, I guess, south of Main.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's kind of my understanding from the last meeting when I watched the video that it was decided to put up a no truck sign
Mhm.
on both the streets. However, on 15th Street, it wouldn't be until after Jim Costas,
It would be right after the railroad tracks.
right after the railroad tracks.
Mhm.
But which would allow Jim Costas to get into his
Right.
place.
Mhm.
I'm just curious to see if we can come up with some kind of resolution where everybody would be happy. I got some different paperwork here. Ashley, when she drives around, she does go down 15, and she goes around that backside onto Missouri,
Mhm.
into the backside of the property that I own. She's never loaded, she's always empty. I do have just a couple examples of her weight, where
Sure.
she's at. That'll give her
Thank you.
empty weight and her loaded weight. There's a couple scale tickets there. Her empty weight, she's never over about 35,100 pounds. Pulling the trip,
I guess my big concern is, it's, back there, it's such a narrow road back there, and there's really no approach going into, your property. And being that narrow road, it's not like you have a very tiny footprint coming off there, it's pretty large, and I just don't know if that road is gonna stand up for that,
Right.
And, I would think that, the residents down there, they just paid a whole bunch of money to.
Right, which I
have
was
that
included
paid.
in that.
Yes, I hear you, yeah.
If you look at these sheets here, what I did here, on the bottom of the front sheet, it gives examples of converting the tires into inches, tire widths. Ashley runs with a 295 tire, which gives her 11.6 inches on every tire. She's got 22 tires on the ground, which means if you break that down, and we're not even considering the length that she is, which would break it down even more, she's 137.5 pounds per inch on her tires. I put a copy of the trailer in there too, but there's no weight on that trailer, but if you take the weight of the truck off the title and subtract that from her empty weight, will give you the weight of the trailer. There's also some examples in here. There's a Buick Rendezvous, which is a real small SUV. It's not as big as like the Tahoes or anything like that. They're 125.5 pounds per inch. They're only an 8.4 inch tire. A smaller car, that's gonna be a little under 100 pounds.
So how many
Then
trucks,
I
how
could-
many trucks come in and out? So I know, I see there's 2 trucks there and there's 4 trailers there right now.
Normally, there's just hers. I have my truck parked over there right now. It just got out of the shop. And she's normally only in and out of there 3 to 4 times a week. When she goes out, she's usually out there for a couple days, and then she'll come home for a couple days. So she's only in and out of there, 4 times a week at the very, very most. And normally it's 2 to 3 times a week, And if it's a matter of putting an approach back there onto our property, I'd be more than happy to bring in, you know, gravel or pavement or, you know, whatever it takes to bring that up so that we're not, you know, but Jim Cost comes right off onto the gravel too. He doesn't really have an approach there either. You know, it's a,
Yeah.
and when she comes in, she doesn't come, you know, she's not coming straight down that.
I guess another concern is, you know, it's such a narrow road too, that it's, you know,
But she's not over width. She's not any wider than,
yeah, but it could be a safety factor too.
So does she usually come in on 14th, or does she come in
no,
like
she
Haas?
doesn't ever come in on 14th. First of all, if she comes down 14th, that corner is too tight
Yeah.
to make it comfortably. Not that she can't make it, but it's too tight to do it comfortably, and there's also an overhead power line. So she comes straight down, yep, and then straight down and around the corner there on Missouri. And then my lots start, it's the second one in. And I have 3 lots on the backside and 2 on the front.
Down this,
Yep.
And around the corner and then into the alley kind of way, is that, or
No,
the backside?
on the backside down Missouri Avenue there, yep.
What's the path out, straight out to the,
She'll back out, there's 3 lots there, so she backs on, just turns onto our
Through the
lots
lots.
still, and then she drives out forward and goes out the same way.
Yeah, I can see your situation there. I know if I lived in that area, you know, and I was paying those specials, and I know you do as well, I'd be concerned about the roads, that's my only thing, you know.
But there's no, if you go look at those roads, there's no damage to the roads, there is on 14th. There's damage down there. In fact, I think they just got done fixing some of that, but she's never on 14th.
Well,
Yeah, the 14th was because of MDU.
one was MDU and the other one was the settling, when they'd done the road construction, so, yeah. You know, but the thing is, you're not gonna see damage for a while, you know, we'll show up later, you know.
But her footprint isn't any bigger or any heavier than, you know, I mean, if you look at, you know, a heavy-duty 1-ton pickup, they're heavier per square inch on their tire than she is.
I know if you look up comparisons with trucks to cars, you know, it's like, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 cars equal one truck, you know, as far as road damage. And that's, you know, that's empty trucks.
And I do agree,
so, yeah.
and I do agree with that
So-
at higher speeds, but she doesn't come in there at, you know, at any kind of high speed. She doesn't use her jig.
Is there any other, do you have no other place where she can park?
No.
You know, I guess another thing too, it is residential area down there too.
Jim Costin's also residential.
Is Jim's considered residential, is it?
I don't even think Jim Farms anymore, but I don't
He is
know.
considered residential.
Is it considered residential?
And I guess that would be my other thing, you know, I mean, you know, if you're gonna put no trucks up,
Yeah,
then do it fair.
no, I agree.
You know, put it on Main Street and 15th. If you're gonna put the no truck sign up, put it on Main Street and 15th.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely something we need
without-
to look at if we're gonna
without,
do it.
you
You're
know.
right about that.
Well, that's something we need to probably reconsider.
Yeah.
Or put a weight limit on
Are
it.
the signs up already or not?
No. You know, a lot of streets, and I have, you know, the North Dakota load restriction chart, you know, what the actual weight limits would be if you were to put just a weight limit on that
I'm
road.
familiar with those. How thick is that street down there?
I think that was a 4.5 inch thick, that was
Was
a
it?
regular residential. I don't think we did 5 inch thick on
Oh,
that,
no.
but I could double check.
Well, I'm sure we did. No,
Yeah.
There'd be no reason to down
I would
You
guess it
didn't really
was,
change the subgrade much either, did you?
I wasn't on that project, but I can go check for you guys. I would guess it would be 8 inches of gravel base with 4.5 inches of asphalt, is what I would guess. A regular residential street, but again, I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, so those darn streets are only this width of a truck kinda, I mean, they didn't
know,
make
it's
them
really
very wide.
Super narrow.
Well, and if it's, like I said, if it's a matter of putting, gravel and building up an approach where she's coming off that pavement, I would be willing to do that.
I would just keep all the trucks out of there myself. Obviously the garbage truck goes through there, we don't have much choice there.
How is that going to affect like the, like I know Jim's got a large, I don't even know what to call it, it's huge.
That
Bus,
truck.
motorhome.
Yeah, generally motorhomes don't come in and out very often, I guess my main concern is, saving the street and then also the safety because it's so narrow down there, so.
Narrow as far as,
Well, that-
I mean,
that
she's
road
not
is
edge
so-
to edge, when she goes, she's not edge to edge on the pavement or anything.
No, yeah, I agree with that, it's just that it's so narrow that I know with 2 cars even passing, it makes it very
No,
difficult.
yeah, very tough,
So the plan, when was the date where those signs were going to be posted? Did we have
I'm
that?
not
yeah.
sure.
When they would, that was when they showed up, that they ordered, so.
Yeah, I know the situation you're in, and it's just so tough just because, with people living in that area and paying that amount, they get a little concerned too. So it's kind of but I do understand your situation.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I've got 5 lots there,
Yeah.
so the majority of those specials I pay.
Yeah.
I mean, how often will more than one truck come in and out of there?
My truck is gonna be out of there as soon as I get, the only reason my truck was over there is I was putting an inverter and a refrigerator in it. But it's gonna be out of there tomorrow, and then after that, it's just her truck. And when she goes out, she's out for a couple days. It's not like she's in and out of there like a residential vehicle, like an everyday vehicle that she drives,
Yeah.
But it is her, that it is her livelihood.
She lives with you, is that right?
I don't live there, she lives there.
Oh, she lives.
Yeah. I just own the house, she lives there.
I guess I'm not in favor of, I'm in favor of having the no trucks up here.
I will say though, is I think we do need to relook at it,
Right,
as
as far as
because
maybe
just the
the
point
whole
she's
thing,
bringing
right?
up, that,
If the signs came in tomorrow and we held off on posting them until we reconsider
Can do
the
that.
entire
Yeah.
town,
Can do that.
that'd be, maybe have this as an agenda item for next meeting.
Put it on the next meeting,
Okay.
sure. We'll look at it a little closer. Yeah, I think that's fair.
This is impressive that,
yeah.
that did the calculations
I have
for
to
the
actually
square.
look at it
Yeah,
to understand it.
impressive.
Can I get a copy of this one?
Yeah. I made lots of extras. Thank you.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put that on hold for now and we'll table it until the next meeting. So we get a chance to look at it a little bit more.
And can I bring one other thing up without
Yes.
putting you on spot or whatever?
Sure.
You own the burnt out house down there?
Yes.
Is there something that,
I,
it's just that I've been getting calls about that. I
yeah.
don't wanna put you on the spot right now, but do we have kind of a plan as far
Well,
as that?
I would like to, I've actually talked to Clayton a couple times about trying to get the fire department to come in and do like a controlled burn to get that thing out of there. I don't want it there
I know
either.
Clayton was saying that it'd be too much stuff around.
Right. but that other garage next to it is gone now, that was his main concern then. And, honestly, I haven't been in
Oh,
but I do wanna visit with him again. I talked to, Harold Tweeten about coming in and tearing it down. That's expensive.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just know that if I lived next to that, I'd be really concerned.
I'm concerned, but I
Yeah.
don't live next to it, but I
Yeah.
don't like it there, and I've been trying to talk to some different contractors and stuff, and if you guys have any kind of idea of somebody that could take that down and not be quite as expensive.
Well, there are a few contractors in town, I mean, you could check with some more of them, I guess, I don't know what, you've got ANC Land Company, you've got Trespic, you've got Unlimited.
Who's going down the back of the bowling alley? That was a pretty big project.
I mean,
I think Tyler was doing that himself, wasn't he?
So
Or the, or you talking about the lumberyard a long time ago? No?
I think Tyler was
last
doing
summer.
some.
I think our Unlimited is out of town.
Right there outside of town.
No, I think they're working.
Oh, I think they've got a couple crews, but yeah.
I can call Jason and ask
Yeah.
him. I didn't know Jason did.
But if we could look into that,
That
that'd be
kind
a
of stuff.
really good deal, because I know the neighbors are getting a little concerned about the.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and we've tried boarding that. The kids like to go in there. It's not safe.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
They'll get in,
it's not
yeah.
good. Yeah, they do.
And just so you know, I mean, in a situation like that, if you have a house next door, that's a big concern.
Yeah.
Big concern, so.
Would there be a possibility if we were able to get that house and stuff down? Well, we're still kind of working, we'd still be on the same, if we came in from that side instead of around Missouri, but we're still looking at the same thing probably on. I was trying to make something work for everybody,
Right.
Well,
like I said, we'll look it over, we'll go down and look at it. I think,
She's just on, that very first lot that I own, I mean, so she's not on Missouri for very long before she is able to turn.
Right, yeah, I drove down there right for the meeting, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, okay. Were you available for the next meeting, or?
Yeah, when is the next meeting?
24th.
Sure.
6:30.
6:30? Okay.
Thank you, Renee.
Thanks so much.
Brad, it's not here.
He sent something.
He sent some information, and
I
I
know,
sent
I
it out
see
in
it.
packets. He wants to put like a Washburn Cardinals hospital at one side of the banner, and then maybe like a Southern McLean Rough Riders on the other
What's your
side.
name?
Yeah, just on the school side, so.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I move that we approve that.
A second. Any discussion? Keith?
Aye.
Please?
Aye.
Yes. Portfolios. Please.
Just an update, the ferry work is ongoing. Bob Frank is down replacing roofs on
See
the,
who's working.
yep, he's been doing quite a bit of work. And so that's going forward, and just wanted to let the residents know that that area is under surveillance, and there's a sign posted there, so that's all I have for.
Okay. I've been trying to look at properties, I've just been busy, but, so. We'll get to it hopefully soon. So, that's all I have.
Okay.
Sharon?
I'm ready.
Anybody? Okay. The motion to pay bills?
I move that we pay the bills.
Second.
Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Yes. Okay, adjourned.
Have a good week.
You too.